everyone, and welcome to the 2024 Hindu Youth Summit as part of the Guyana Hindu Dharmic Sabha's 50th year. My name is Avasa.
My name is Parmesh.
And my name is Kripa, and we are thrilled to be your co-MCs for today's activities. As many of you know, the Guyana Hindu Dharmic Sabha will be celebrating its 50th year this year, and what better time to host a Hindu Youth Summit given the Sabha's long history of empowering and uplifting Hindu youths.
Very true. Since its establishment in 1974 by the late Pandit Ripudaman Prasad, the Sabha has been a beacon of Hindu culture in Guyana. Through various events, festivals, and educational initiatives, we uphold and celebrate our tradition, fostering a sense of community and spiritual pride among our Guyanese Hindu.
It is now my pleasure to welcome on stage Honorable Dr. Vindhya Vasani Prasad, the Indian High Commissioner to Guyana, Dr. Amit Talang, Pandit Nitin, and Ms. Nisha Maraj as we start our ceremony in prayer.
Let's also welcome Pandit Kemraj Prasad as he will open today's ceremony with pratna.
प्रेम से बोलिए गोविंद भगवान की जय. Devotees and friends, allow me to ask of you to stand, please, as we commence this with practice. Om Sri Ganeshaya Namaha. Om Saraswatebhyo Namaha. Om Sri Guru Charana Kamlebhyo Namo Namo. Kailashpatiyebhyo Namaha. Vakratundha Mahakaya Suryakote Samaprabha Nirvignam Kuru me Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada. Om Saraswatye Namastubhyam Varde Kamirupine Vidyarambam Karikshyami Siddhir Bhavatu Me Sada. Lakshmi Karotu Kalyanam Arogyam Sukha Sampada Mam Shatruna Vinashaya Deepa Jyotir Namastute. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om. प्रेम से बोलिए गौरी गणेश भगवान की जय. प्रेम से बोलिए सरस्वती माता की जय. प्रेम से बोलिए श्री महालक्ष्मी माता की जय. बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद. You can now have your seats.
Thank you to our esteemed guests. What a beautiful way to start off this summit and to start our weekend. Proceeding into the program, we'd have bhajan and kirtan to be done by the West Coast Demerara Prant.
While we wait for them to set up, allow me to mention the sponsors for today's event. Joe Jagmohan from International Imports and Supplies, Chaitram Prasad from Ganesh Parts, Mr. Lachman Mohabir for El Mohabir Cambio, Chris Ramlochan from Chris Auto Sale, Ramnaresh Sarwan, Gautam Tani from the Mohan Tani Store, Avinash from Avinash Contracting and Scrap Metal Incorporated, KDV Singh, Sherry Ramdas from Sherry Lumber Yard, Camille Duki from Camille's Academy, and Anil Hardial from Regal. Let's please give a round of applause for our sponsors.
Check 1, 2. Check. रामाय रामभद्राय रामचन्द्राय वेरसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीताय पतये नमः सीताय
Ram, Ram Ram Jai Sita Ram, Ram Ram Jai Raja Ram, Ram Ram Jai Sita Ram, Ram Ram Jai Raja Ram, Ram Ram Jai Sita Ram, Ram Ram Jai Raja Ram, Ram Ram Jai Sita Ram. Jai Ram Krishna Hare, Jai 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 Jai Ram Krishna Hare Hare Jai Jai Ram Krishna 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 Hare Jai Jai Ram Krishna
Everybody.
Jai Jai Ram Krishna Hare Jai Jai Ram Krishna Hare Jai Jai Ram Krishna Hare Jai Jai Ram Krishna Hare.
What a beautiful performance from the West Coast Demerara Prant. I think that really gets us set in the mood for the weekend that we have in store. Sitaram once again. We have quite the weekend in store for you, so I hope that you are just as excited as we are. Over our 50 years, the Guyana Hindu Dharmic Sabha has made it their mission to acknowledge and celebrate the talent and voices of Hindu youth. This summit serves as a way to connect Hindu youth, not just nationally, but regionally, as amongst you in the audience, we have participants from Guyana, Suriname, and Trinidad. This weekend, you will have the opportunity to listen to an array of speakers present around the theme, Empowering Hindu Youth Leadership, Leveraging Hindu Wisdom and Cultural Expression for Positive Social Change. But more than that, you will have the opportunity to play a part in the change that we are speaking of. Our summit is divided into several segments, ranging from panels, interactive activities, and a few presentations. Each speaker will present for around 4 minutes, and when the session is over, you will have the opportunity to discuss the topic in groups, and some teams will be chosen to present. The ideas will be discussed and compiled and woven into the resolutions for the Guyana Hindu Dharmic Sabha's 3-year action plan that will be presented at the end of the summit. So, each and every one of you have an opportunity to better both the Guyanese and regional Hindu community. But before we get into the summit itself, we still have a few more items in our opening. So it is my pleasure to bring on stage Varshini and Davina from Central Dharmic Naujawan.
Namaste to everyone that is present here today. It is our honor and privilege to stand before you today at this Hindu Youth Summit under the theme Embracing Hindu Youth Leadership, Leveraging Hindu Wisdom and Cultural Expression for Positive Social Change. It is not just a call to action, but a reflection of immense potential within each of us. In this rich tapestry of Hinduism, we find timeless wisdom that guides us in every aspect of life, from the Bhagavad Gita teaching on duty and righteousness to the Upanishads' exploration of the self and the universe. Our ancient scriptures provide profound insight. These teachings remind us that true leadership is rooted in Dharma, in doing what is right, just, and beneficial for the greater good. As Hindu youths, we have the unique opportunity to lead by example, to embody the value of compassion, humility, and perseverance. Our cultural expression, whether through dance, music, art, or rituals, are powerful tools that connect us to our heritage and enable us to share our rich culture with the world. These expressions are not merely traditions, but vibrant living aspects of our identity that inspire and unite us. But leadership goes beyond cultural preservation. It is about innovation, about using our wisdoms to address modern challenges. Today, we face issues like climate change, social inequality, and mental health crisis. By embracing our Hindu identity and value, we can offer unique perspective and solution.
Sitaram all, our philosophy of Vasudeva Kutumbakam, the world is one family, encourage us to act with global compassion and responsibility. We must also harness the power of modern technology and social media to amplify our voices and ideas. Let us create platforms that foster dialogue, promote our values, and drive social change. By doing so, we can break stereotypes and show the world the true essence of Hinduism, a faith that is inclusive, progressive, and dedicated to the well-being of all. In our journey, let us remember the words of Swami Vivekananda, "Arise, awake, and stop not till the goal is reached." As young leaders, it is our duty to rise, to be vigilant, and to work tirelessly towards a future where our wisdom and cultural heritage are not just preserved, but celebrated and leveraged for the betterment of society. Together, we can create a world where Hindu values of peace, respect, and harmony prevail. Let us lead with courage, with wisdom, and with a deep sense of purpose. The future of our community and our world depends on the steps we take today. Thank you, and may we all be inspired to lead with strength and compassion. Namaste.
Thank you for those beautiful remarks, Varshini and Davina. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to now introduce someone who hails all the way from Paramaribo, Suriname. He works within the Ministry of Home Affairs there and was the former president of the Vereniging Sanatan Dharma Mahasabha. He also teaches Hinduism, historical literature, and capital selecta at the IOL there. Ladies and gentlemen, join me in welcoming Pandit Nitin Jagbandan to the stage.
Hari Om Yonadyananta nirupadhipadayah pradishtaha Kalyan krinnikhila janma bhritam varishtha Papan nivarayati pati cha satsakheva Soyam prasidatu sanatan dharma dev. Prem se boliye sanatan dharma ki jai. Honorable Minister of Human Services and Social Security, and also the President of the Guyana Hindu Dharmic Sabha, Dr. Vindhya Vasani Prasadji. I've just met the High Commissioner of India to Guyana and spouse, Dr. Amit Telangji. In Suriname, I have a very great collaboration with the Indian Embassy, and I'm very proud that I've also met you, and also the Director of the Culture Center, distinguished guests, and most of all the youth we have here. I've just told my delegate that we've learned a very big lesson from Guyana. We're also going to do this in Suriname. And we're also going to invite Guyana, Trinidad, and all the other countries to have such a great summit. First of all, heartfully, Dr. Vindhya Vasani, I want to thank you for the great invitation that you gave us. And we drove like approximately 800 kilometers from Paramaribo to Guyana and to be here. I want to congratulate you, first of all, with the 50th anniversary of the Guyana Hindu Dharmic Mahasabha, and everyone, because it's a very great opportunity that we have, that we came together and, to have such a summit here. But moreover, I want to thank all the youth that are here. And Dr. G, I think it's the first time regionally, first time in the history in the Caribbean that we're having such a summit. And this is a very great basis. It sets a great basis that we as Suriname, Guyana, Trinidad, and all the other countries, the Hindu Dharmic Sabha, we have to work together to collaborate and to work and to sustain Sanatan Dharam. And today, we are not in the picture, we as leaders, but in the picture are the youth, you all here that are together. Because we are becoming old, and at the end of the day, there is a very quote, the youth of today is the future of tomorrow. They have to take over. And I have only 3 minutes. I want to stress out six basic things that you as youth have to focus on. You have to become the leaders from tomorrow for the future. Focus on 6 main things. In history, in the scriptures, it's written that there are 6 cultural elements. If you want to become a true Hindu, you have to focus on these 6 things. And what are these 6 things? Bhasha, bhajan, bhojan, bhesh, bhutkal, and bhavana. Try to conserve your bhasha, your mother tongue. English is good. You have to sustain it. But try to learn the Hindi, the Sanskrit, because the scriptures are written in this language. Bhasha. Because bhasha, the mother tongue, has a great relation with culture, with sabhyata, with civilization. Bhasha. Second is bhajan. We heard in what way? Pretty way. The youngster of Guyana, they did bhajan, devotional songs, and also prayer. You have to pray every day. Try to connect with Bhagwan, with Paramatma, with the Almighty. Bhasha, bhajan. The third is bhojan, the things that we ate. Become a vegetarian. Very necessary for a Hindu. Bhasha, bhajan, bhoshan, bhesh. Look how wonderful Dr. G has worn a sari. And all the other youngsters here, this is our identity, how we have to wear. हमें कैसे पहनना चाहिए, हमारा भूषा क्या होना चाहिए, ये बहुत ही आवश्यक है ना. भाषा, भजन, भोजन, भेष. The fifth one, very necessary, itihas, history. Don't know all the history of the British only. It's good, we have to learn it. But also know the history of India. क्योंकि इंडिया जो है, हमारे बाप दादे वहाँ से आए. They all ancestors came from there. We have very great relations with Bharat. India becoming Bharat now. So know the history of your ancestors. Know the scriptures. Read it. Know it. And the end, bhavana. Shri Ramcharitmanas says, जिसकी रही भावना जैसी प्रभु मूरत देखा तिन तैसी. Attitude, mentality, acharan. Don't say it only, you're a Hindu. don't speak it, but you have to do the karma also in that way. These are the 6 things. I want to finish my speech here. At the end, thank you, Dr. G, for the invitation, this great summit. I want to wish you, youngsters, very fruitful summit. We're also having a great time here in Guyana. And at the end, I want to ask Bhagwan, we pray that this summit be prosperous, सब कुछ अच्छी तरीके से संपन्न हो. ओम मंगलम भगवान विष्णुर मंगलम गरुड़ध्वजः मंगलम पुंडरीकाक्ष मंगलाये तन्नो हरि. ओम सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत्. हरि ओम शांति शांति शांति. हरि ओम. प्रेम से बोलिए सनातन धर्म की जय.
Thank you very much, Pandit Nitin Jagbandan, for your educational and informative contribution. And I must say that my favorite of the 6 principles is the bhojan, which is what we have deliciously prepared for you. The next item in our program this morning is another member of our neighboring country, Trinidad. I'd like to introduce you as this individual is a graduate of the University of Trinidad and Tobago with a bachelor's in education primary level, currently pursuing her master's in education and management at the University of the West Indies. She is also the current president of the Sadhu Mandir and a teacher at the Clark Road Hindu Primary School in Trinidad. Without any further hesitation, I'd like to ask you to give a warm Guyanese welcome to Ms. Nisha Maharaj.
Pandit Kemraj Prasad, Vashini Netram, Devina Hardat, Pandit Nitin Jagbandan, Dr. Amit Tilang, High Commissioner of India, Dr. Vindhya Vasini Prasad, President of the Guyana Dharmic Sabha, ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests and vibrant youths, Namaskar or Sitaram. It is with immense pride and profound joy that I stand before you today. I am Nisha Maharaj, and today I am speaking as part of the Hanuman Mandir of Lawrence Hill and on behalf of the Hindu Diaspora Foundation. We gather here for a purpose that resonates deeply within the heart of our communities to celebrate and ignite the spirit of Hindu youth leadership. In the Caribbean, our Hindu heritage has woven a rich tapestry across Trinidad, Guyana, and Suriname, a tapestry vibrant with tradition, strength, and enduring sense of unity. In Trinidad, we find ourselves amidst a dynamic and evolving culture that has embraced Hindu values while blending them seamlessly with the vibrant local traditions. In Guyana, our cultural roots run deep, and our festivals and rituals reflect a legacy of resilience and pride. In Suriname, our Hindu communities stand as a testament to the enduring spirit of our ancestors, whose sacrifices and vision continue to inspire us. Yet, the strength of our heritage lies not only in our past, but in the promise of our future. Today, we stand at a crossroads where the potential of our youth can shape a brighter tomorrow. Empowering Hindu youth leadership is not merely a call to action. It is a celebration of the extraordinary talent, creativity, and vision that our young leaders bring to the table. Central to this empowerment is the concept of leveraging Hindu wisdom and cultural expression. Our sacred texts and our philosophical teachings offer a wellspring of guidance that is as relevant today as it was millenniums ago. From the timeless lessons of the Bhagavad Gita to the profound insights of the Vedas, Hindu wisdom provides a roadmap for navigating the complexities of modern life and integrity and clarity. Our cultural expression, be it through music, dance, art, or ritual, serves as a vibrant manifestation of our values and beliefs. These expressions not only preserve our heritage, but also allow us to engage with the world in ways that are meaningful and impactful. They remind us of our rich legacy and inspire us to channel our creativity into leadership that is both innovative and grounded in tradition. Each of you embodies the teachings of our ancient sages and the values of Dharma, which have guided our communities through centuries. You are the custodians of our tradition, the torchbearers of our culture, and the architects of our collective future. It is through your leadership that we will see the blooming of our ideals where justice, compassion, and wisdom are not just concepts, but living realities. Let us remember the words of Lord Hanuman, whose devotion and strength serve as a beacon for us all. In his unwavering faith and boundless courage, we find the essence of true leadership, a commitment to serve, to uplift, to forge paths where none existed before. As we embark on this journey of empowering our youths, let us pledge to support and nurture the leaders among us. Let us create spaces where Hindu wisdom can guide decision-making and cultural expression can inspire innovation. Together, let us honor our past by investing in our future, ensuring that our rich heritage is not only preserved but enriched by the contributions of our young visionaries. Thank you, Dr. Vindhya Vasini Prasad, for the creation and coordination of this noble venture, the Hindu Youth Summit 2024, that gives a resounding voice to the Hindu youth and the strong leadership that will emerge from it. May the ceremony mark the beginning of a new chapter in our collective story, one where Hindu youth stand at the forefront, leading with wisdom, courage, and a deep-seated commitment to our shared values. May we all move forward with the strength and unity that defines us, our remarkable heritage. I thank you. Namaskar.
Thank you, Ms. Miraj, for your wise words. Ms. Miraj spoke of Hinduism helping us navigate complexity and the importance of staying connected to our religion and culture. And I can tell you all that those are two themes that are very strong in the presentations that we have over the next 2 days. As the dancers get ready to come on stage, I'd like to highlight that over the years, the Guyana Hindu Dharmic Sabha has created platforms through which young people can share and showcase their talents on a wide stage. One such event is Kala Utsav, an opportunity for youth to share their talents in kirtan, music, dance, and many more categories. With that being said, I'd like to welcome Golden Orm Dharmic to perform a dance for us. They were actually the second place winners of Kala Utsav last year, so give them a round of applause.
सुमुखश्चैकदन्तश्च कपिलो गजकर्णकः लम्बोदरश्च विकटो विघ्ननाशो विनायकः धूम्रकेतु गणाध्यक्षो भालचन्द्र गजाननः वक्रतुण्ड महाकाय वक्रतुण्डमहाकाय कपिलो गजकर्णकः लम्बोदरश्च विकटो विघ्ननाशो विनायकः धूम्रकेतु गणाध्यक्षो भालचन्द्र गजाननः वक्रतुण्ड महाकाय सूर्यकोटि समप्रभ निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा
निरागसहो गणपति सूरनिरागसहो सूरनिरागसहो गणपति सूरनिरागसहो शुभनयना करुणामय गौरीहर श्री वरद विनायक शुभनयना करुणामय गौरीहर श्री वरद विनायक ओंकार गणपति अधिपति सुखपति छंदपति गंधपति लीन निरंतर हो लीन निरंतर हो गणपति सूर निरागस हो
What a performance by the Golden Om Dharmic Dance Troupe. I'm sure you would recognize them from events for the Sabha such as our Kala Utsav, our annual Pagwa Mela, and our Diwali celebrations. Let's hear it for them one more time. Thank you. Now it is time for me to extend a warm welcome to an individual who has significantly influenced the vibrant Hindu culture in Guyana. He is a graduate of the Government Medical College in Nagpur and a distinguished member of the Indian Foreign Service 2005 branch. His diverse background includes roles as a medical officer, lecturer, the head of the political wing in the Embassy of India in Berlin, the head of the economic and commercial wing in the Embassy of India in Moscow, and the Consul General of India in Frankfurt. Quite an accomplished man. Moreover, he has contributed his expertise within the Ministry of External Affairs in New Delhi. He is a connoisseur of classical music and literature and is proficient in multiple languages, including Hindi. Ladies and gentlemen, I am pleased to introduce to you Dr. Amit Talang, the High Commissioner of India to Guyana. Join me in welcoming him.
Namaskar, Sitaram to all of you.
the President of Guyana Hindu Dharmic Sabha, Dr. Vindhyavasini Prasad, our friend from Paramaribo, Pandit Nitinji, our friend from Trinidad and Tobago, Vidushi Nisha Maharajji, my other distinguished friends who are here in the gathering, Pandit Ravi, Dr. Vishnu Durga, all the distinguished guests, and the real chief guest of today's event are young friends from all over Guyana. It's really a pleasure and honor for me to be a part of this celebration. And in fact, I had prepared some kind of a speech. But then when I heard Pandit Nitinji, and I must say, I must compliment you, I think probably you have very succinctly put across the essence of what Hinduism or the Sanatan Dharma stands for. So let me take it further from there. And I would like to take this opportunity to just, present to you that often people say that when it comes to religion, it's only about worship. But religion has much more meaning attached to it. And as all of you are going to deliberate on different aspects as you participate in this youth camp, one of the important aspects that Pandit Nitinji mentioned was to be proud of what you have in terms of itihas. He also spoke about bhavana, which is feeling. He also spoke about bhojan, and I was very happy when one of our masters of the ceremony, he mentioned that that is, of course, the most attractive part of it. But beyond that, we often see these days that the things which were taken for granted are now accepted the world over. If you are a follower of Facebook, social media, many of us are followers these days on social media, there was a very interesting post. And the place where I was earlier posted, Germany, one company in Germany, they started producing small containers, a plate, a bowl, out of leaves. And they started marketing that this is the most sustainable, the most sustainable form of utensils that we have produced. Without realizing that in India, we have been doing this for ages. And even in Guyana, when you have your 7 curries, you have it on a lotus leaf. And I'm sure it must be the case also in Trinidad and Suriname. So, what others are now telling us is something which we know for ages. And there are so many other things. When it comes to bhojan, you mentioned about bhojan. Now people are talking about vegetarianism. They are talking about being vegan, and people proudly come and tell that we are vegan. But the fact of the matter is, we always knew that this is the healthy form of food in the area where we live. We all are from the tropical area. India is also more or less a tropical country. Suriname, Trinidad, and Guyana are also in that region. The kind of food which we take should be easily digested, should not be very strong, and at the same time, it should have the right mix of spices to make it palatable. But more importantly, it has almost every ingredient which scientifically is the basis of a balanced diet. So you have rice, you have roti or chapati, you have some vegetables, and you also have a little bit of achar. And when you have your 7 curry, you will see it has almost the mix of everything. It has the right mix of vegetables, rice, and the achar and everything. And then, of course, you have your dal puri, you have your roti. So your diet is the balanced diet, which now others are telling you. Because for them, it would be just a piece of meat and some, pieces of salad. Or they might add a potato as starch or carbohydrates. But you have your food which already has the right mix of everything, which is the most scientific way. The third important aspect in terms of our dressing, that again is something which is very natural. You use cotton. We use cotton extensively. Our dress is also something which is the right thing to do in this kind of weather or climate. So again, everything has a scientific basis, and this is something which we must realize, because then automatically nobody else can come and tell you that your religion or what you practice is outdated.
we should be confident to say that no, each and everything that we do has a very strong scientific basis. And it is so scientific that now it is widely accepted and others are emulating us. They want to learn from us. The other small thing which I wanted to mention is about what Hinduism stands for. We often talk about two things. First thing is being Hindu, and the other thing is in terms of religion, we often talk about Sanatana Dharma. So what is the difference? What is it? So the important thing that we need to understand that the religion, that way that we talk about the Sanatana Dharma, is something which is not really a basis only something that you read in a book. You read religiously and then they forget about it. No, it is something that you have learned over ages, you have refined, and you have brought it to the level of perfection. And that is why it is called Sanatan. It existed all over ages. You have learned, it has been practiced, and that is why those of you who learn about Hinduism in more detail, we have Shruti and we have Smruti. A lot of emphasis is placed on what was heard and what was memorized. And then it came Puranokta. That means something which has been written in our scriptures. So more importantly, it is So besides Smriti and Shruti, which is memory and something that you have heard, then come the scriptures. And the scriptures are again many. There's not only one book that tells us about our religion. There are multiple things. And each one of them has a certain aspect, a lesson of life to learn from. So we have Mahabharata, we have Ramayana, we have Bhagavad Gita, which is part of Mahabharata. But we have also the Upanishads, we have so many other Puranas. And all of them, they speak about a specific aspect of life from which to learn and to refine ourselves. So that is the outcome of the real religion in terms of Sanatana Dharma. But when it comes to Hinduism, we are talking about, in a way, the physical extent, what we think about. And the word Hindu comes from the river Sindhu. And many of you who might be interested in history may know that there is a river called Sindhu Nadi. And this Sindhu river, it flows in a certain direction, and this was the river on the sides of which one of the earliest civilization originated. It is called Sindhu Sabhyata, or the Indus Valley civilization. And from there people started realizing. So we go to more than 5,000, 6,000, 7,000, even more than that years back. And even at that time, the kind of development that existed in terms of town planning, in terms of different aspects, scientific aspects of ports and other things, was something that makes even the more developed civilizations to talk about what we or our ancestors had achieved so many years back. But at the same time, we must realize that this concept is a very broader concept. Everyone who believes in certain values, who believes in certain traditions, certain way of life, irrespective of which religion do you practice, you are still a Hindu. That is the concept which we have to keep in mind, that when we talk about Hinduism, it's a very broad concept. I was really happy when the two masters of ceremony, Varshni and Devina, they mentioned, they told you about some of the shlokas from Bhagavad Gita. They also told about Swami Vivekananda. Something which they mentioned, I would like to elaborate just a little bit more. That is the concept of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, or the global family, is not a new concept. We have always believed. We believe that we may have we may be living in different parts of the world. We may have different skin color. We may look different. We may believe in different religions. But at the end of the day, we are all human beings, and that bond of humanity connects us. And that is the concept of Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. So Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam is not only about claiming that each and every one is part of us, but it is also to strongly believe in the concept that each and every human being is in a way connected as a part of that family. And that is one another concept which is probably inherent in the concept of bhavana, which was mentioned by Panditji. So as you discuss, as you deliberate, please also take into mind that Guyana, Trinidad, Suriname, all of you have a very strong message to convey that we may be in any part of the world, but we are one strong family. That concept of family is very important, because when you consider the fellow human being as your brother or sister, there is no animosity. You are connecting people, and through this strong connection, a better world can be built. With this, I would like to once again thank Honorable Minister and all of you for giving me this opportunity to be a part of this wonderful gathering. I wish all of you very nice and very interesting, intellectually rewarding deliberations and discussions. And all of you, when you go back, you will have something to say that we have learned something which makes us a better citizen. Thank you very much. Namaskar. Dhanyavad.
Thank you, Dr. Tilang, for your wise and impactful message. Proceeding with our program, we will now have a Ramayan chanting, which will be done by the members of the East Coast of Demerara Prant. The Ramcharit Ramanas is a sacred text, revered for its profound spiritual teachings and moral guidance. It provides a rich tapestry of divine narratives that inspire and uplift us all. Through the melodious chanting of its verses, we celebrate not only our cultural heritage, but also the enduring values of devotion, righteousness, and unity. These themes, taught through the golden pages, are only some of what we will be doing this afternoon come for our summit. So without any other hesitation, let me introduce to you the Bachoka Satsang of the East Coast of Demerara Prant, headed by Pandit Nandalal.
But as we wait for them to set up, let me thank our sponsors once again. Thank you to Joe Jagmohan from International Imports and Supplies, Chaitram Prasad from Ganesh Parts, Mr. Lakshman Mohabir from El Mohabir Cambio, Chris Ramlochan from Chris Auto Sale, Ram Naresh Sarwan, Gautam Tani from the Mohan Tani Store, Avinash from Avinash Contracting and Scrap Metal Incorporated, KDV Singh, Sherry Ramdas from Sherry Lumberyard, Camille Duki from Camille's Academy, Anil Hardiat from Regal, and Gaumati Singh. This summit would not be possible without our summits. Let's give a round of applause for them. You ready?
Saraswati Namastobhyam Varade Bhogamini Rupini Vidyarambam Karishyami Siddhira Bhavatu Me Sada. Respected elders, brothers and sisters, Jai Sri Ram. In my presentation, we will be looking at emotion and duty. Which one takes precedence, or which one is more of a priority? When Bhagwan Sri Ram was going to be sent to exile, he took the blessings from his mother. And Tulsidas penned this beautiful chaupai on what Kausalya Ma told Sri Ram. Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Jai Jai Ram Jo keval pituai sudhana Jo keval pituai sudhana To jani jao jani bari maga To jani jao jani bari maga Jai Jai Rama Jai Rama Jo bhi tumhare kehte ani jana Jo bhi tumhare kehte ani jana Kau galanu sad avar samana Kau galanu sad avar samana Shri Ram Jai Ram Jai Jai Rama 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 हे तात, यदि अकेले पिताजी की आज्ञा हो तो माता को पिता से बड़ी जान कर बन ना जाओ किंतु यदि पिता माता दोनों ने बन जाने की आज्ञा दी है तो बन को सही करो अयोध्याओं के समान समझो. Now, what does this mean? In any case, if it be only your father's command, my son, then go not. Put your mother first. But if both your father and your mother ask you to go to the forest, then the woods will be equal to 100 cities like Ayodhya. So, in other words, when parents make decisions for we the children, especially when we are underage to make decisions, we must listen to our parents and act accordingly. In today's world, we're seeing children making decisions, and parents have to go with that because of emotion and not duty. The parents' duty is for the greater good of their children and not emotion. Thank you.
Such melodious chanting from the East Coast Demerara Prant. It really is wonderful to see so many young people here today celebrating and appreciating their culture and religion. It is now my pleasure to welcome on stage Minister of Human and Social Services and President of the Guyana Hindu Dharmic Sabha, Dr. Vindhya Vasani Prasad, to share her feature address with you all.
Excellency, High Commissioner of India, Guyana, Dr. Amit Tilang, distinguished representatives from Trinidad and Tobago and Suriname, Pandit Nitin Jagbandhan, Srimati Nisha Maharaj, Pandit Ravi. I'd also like to welcome Director of Swami Vivekanand Cultural Center. I'd also like to welcome Mrs. Dipali Tilang, and our panelists, many of whom you know. For example, Dr. Amarnath Dukhi, neurosurgeon, Mr. Durga, cricketer Akshaya Prasad, Pandit Avishkar Nandalal, Pandit Devadat Prasad, to name some of them, and all those who've traveled from Trinidad and Suriname to join all of you, the largest contingent here for this year's Hindu Youth Summit hosted by the Guyana Hindu Dharmic Sabha. Swagatam, Sadar Pranam, and it's a pleasure to welcome you today to the Pandit Ripudaman Prasad Dharmic Sanskritik Kendra. Give yourselves a huge round of applause. With us here is also our executive member, Bahan Savitri Sukai, a treasurer of the Guyana Hindu Dharmic Sabha, and another Pandit all the way from Upper Quarantine, Pandit Dinesh Harilal. As I welcome you this morning, I want to thank you for choosing to be here. Being a part of a Hindu Youth Summit is a choice. And as Hindu youth, you will always have choices in life. Today, you've made a wise choice to come here, to be engaged, to interact, to network, and to share profound perspectives on Sanatan Vedic Dharma. As Hindus in a world that is secular, that is global in its perspective and views, that is something for all of us to wonder, where do we fit in? What is our purpose? What is our role? And more importantly, what are our responsibilities? And I say our because we do have a collective responsibility to this more than 6,000-year-old dynamic, comprehensive way of life. Sanatana Vedic Dharma has been there for eons. It has outlived many, and it will outlive us. As members of this fraternity of believers and thinkers who follow the distilled knowledge of sages and seers of yesteryear, sages and seers who have charted a course for us, and also the teachings of our scriptures, the Ramayana, the Bhagavad Gita, it is incumbent on us in this time, today, tomorrow, and every day, to ensure that we honor a sacred responsibility that has been passed on to us. What is this responsibility? What is this duty that we have? To ensure that we not only actively participate in everything, but we become leaders in the spheres in which we find ourselves. We should never see ourselves as anything less than a leader. Leaders are not born. Leaders are made by the decision to want to be leaders. And what do I mean by that? It means that you must actively be a part of the inspiration, the influencing of others on a dharmic path. It does not matter who you are and how much you've ascended the ladder in your life. You can climb the echelons of academic prowess. You can find yourself in national leadership. You can find yourself among the distinguished people in your country, but you must never lose sight of who you are and that you have a Hindu identity. Why is that important? Because it defines you. It defines the way you think. It determines the way you act. And it definitely ensures that you can, at all times, engage in meaningful, tangible participation with everyone who follows every faith, ensuring that there is always an environment of respect, understanding, and collaboration for the betterment of all. This beautiful dharma to which I have subscribed and I've been born into would have guided me, and I would like to say the inspiring motto of the Guyana Hindu Dharmic Sabha sums it up nicely as to what we should be doing in every sphere of life. Karman neva dhikaraste ma phaleshu kadachana. Action thy duty, reward not thy concern. We must not be passive onlookers in the lives that we have and the world in which we live in. Many knowledgeable persons have said, and also within our scriptures, there would have been the thought and the teaching that to be inactive is sometimes to also take the wrong path. So we must be active, we must be advocates, and we must ensure that at all times we are fulsomely engaged in the sustenance, the propagation, and yes, the awareness and informed knowledge of our dharma. Each one of you come from different parts of the country, come from different countries. And while I welcome you all here and congratulate you, it is much more than being here physically. It is ensuring that you have something to say that can definitely be a perspective that is yours. We want to know, how do we engage young people more? How do we get them more actively involved in everything, from mandir going to being a part of their Hindu society, to taking part in festivals such as Kala Utsav, to develop their artistic and cultural side, to being proactive in contributing to community and the building of countries, our country, Guyana. How can we make that level of contribution, and how can we be inspired by those who came before us and did it before us, so that here we can stand now on a foundation that is strong, that is legendary, and a foundation that has put us on sure footing as the Hindu community. This summit is not one that was crafted lightly. It says Hindu youth. And so the focus is on the young Hindus within the community. I do not believe in saying that Hindu youth are our future. Not at all. Hindu youth are our today. We cannot wait for any future to happen. We must act today. No young person is too young to express himself or herself. No young person is too young to understand and to appreciate the teachings of the Bhagavad Gita and the Ramayana. No young person is too young to share their views and perspectives and to have intergenerational conversations as we bridge the divide of the generations and we adapt to a modern world that is rapidly evolving with technology connecting us, but also technology that brings a lot of negatives our way. We are in an ever-changing world. So to every one of you, you are the Hindu youth of today with a magnificent responsibility and a mantle of duty where you have to ensure that when you leave here, you are armed with not only the elements of a 3-year action plan that will be developed after this conference and imbued with energy about the resolutions that will emerge from your discussions and conversation, but you must have laser focus and a strategic direction in where you want to see our Dharma to be. I have never felt that as a Hindu, one should ever feel lesser than. In fact, so much has emerged from Hinduism. Rig Ved, Yajurved, Samved, Atharva Ved. We've given the world medicine. We've given the world knowledge. We've given the world everything from democracy to how we can understand the dynamics of mathematics, for example. We have given the world from 0 to infinity. We have given the world the origin of the names of our months, for example, and we have the oldest bhasha, Sanskrit, the oldest living language. So you must know what you're sitting on. And if you are sitting on something so powerful, a legacy that is so beautiful, Dharma eva hato hanti, dharma rakshati rakshata, protect it. Not only should you protect it, but you should be knowledgeable about your Dharma. I've often heard Hindu young people say, my Dharma is too complex. What is complex about your Dharma? We tell the world we can worship Bhagwan as Ardhanarishwar, Shakta Shakti, male, female, Sakar Nirakar, Sagun Nirgun, personal and impersonal forms of Bhagwan. We can choose how we want to worship Bhagwan. We can choose to worship Bhagwan in Bhakti Satsang. We can choose to worship Bhagwan in Dhyan or meditation. Our Bhagwan is everything and all things to us. What is complex? Then we say we don't know the language. Now you have AI. You have ChatGPT. You have the internet. Translate it. Know it. You live in a world that gives you this Dharma at your fingertips. All of us. We don't live in a time when Valmiki wrote the Ramayana and it had to be translated by Tulsidas into Hindi to make it more appealing to the masses. It can be translated to any and every language. So how is it complex? When you have your Hindu name, know how it is pronounced. Know what it means. And when you have a name, express your name by your very code of conduct, which is your Hindu identity. My name is Vindhyavasini. Today, speak your name. You have it on your badges. Share your names with each other and make a conscious but profound vow. I will live what my name says. And your names are powerful things. In addition to that, how can Hinduism be something that you're looking elsewhere for answers? In the Bhagavad Gita, the cycle of life is right there, from birth to death. The answers are right there. How many of you, let me ask you, I love to do this. How many of you read Bhagavad Gita every day? Come on, let's see a show of hands. We need to do some work. One verse, even one verse, 1 week. The simplest one I would love you to know is one that I learned when I was little, like my siblings. Patram pushpam palam toyam. Why do I say that? Because it speaks of worship. Many times young people say, puja long, pandit longer. Not true? And you make excuses why you shouldn't go. But you can offer your heart to Bhagwan every day. Patram, pushpam, palam, a leaf, a flower, fruit, a little bit of water. But most of all, devotion and faith. People look for also solutions to health. Go to your doctors. You want legal solutions? Go to the legal minds. But you want solutions to life? Go to Bhagwan. It is there. But in every prayer, every mantra, every shloka, it is not merely recitation of those things. It is the conviction and the belief that comes with it. When we were putting this together last night, everyone looked up and said, rain was going to fall last night. I looked up and said, no, Bhagwan is going to charge. They said, but they ain't got a star there. I said, no, Bhagwan will make sure weather is good. This morning, Pandit Dinesh rang me. I did not answer his call deliberately because I knew he was calling to tell me something was wrong. After a while, I looked at his message and he said, we'll miss the bridge. I just went to my Bhagwan and I said, Ganapati Baba, don't let it open no bridge, let all the Barbatians cross. They crossed. Inherent in your prayer is belief. That's it. Just as simple as that. You don't have to do any fancy prayer. If you think of mental health and well-being, how many of you are scared to speak in public? Can I see a show of hands? Terrified. Plenty hands. Of course. Start by saying, Om. Let's go. Om. We don't have 500 people here. Om. Shri. Ganesh. Aya. Nama. Every time you do something, repeat it, and breathe. Anxiety, gone. I say something else too. I say Om Namah Shivaya because I also follow Lord Shiva so very much. I love Lord Shiva. So between Bhagwan Ganesh and Bhagwan Shiva, answer to anxiety, and I'm speaking as a medically trained person like the doctors here. How does your Hinduism help mental health? Just as simply as that. Am I saying it because I just want to tell you? No. Studies have shown, especially in the United Kingdom and India, that they are using these things as medical treatment to ensure that psychologically people are in a good frame of mind because it's easier to treat and cure. If you think negative and you're going to dead tomorrow, chances are you might wake up. I don't know. I'm not Bhagwan. I'm just saying that. But you have to think that every day brings with it opportunity. Why do we say in the Ramayana, Bare bhagya manusha tanapao? Because we are fortunate to be born. We are fortunate to have human form. What comes with human form? An analytical mind. A mind that can come up with solutions. A mind that can discern between right and wrong. A mind that is blessed with viveka shakti. the discriminative power, so that we can always determine who we want to be. My father told me one thing. He said, never ever let anyone set your standards. Set your own standards. Don't compete with anyone, compete with yourself. So if you did something fine yesterday, be better today. That is how you evolve. Making some sense? He also told me something. Prabhisi nagar ki jai sabakaja, hirday rakh ko shalapur raja. What does that mean? Anyone knows? Not our learned pundits, of course they know. It means take Sri Ram with you in everything that you do. Take the name of Bhagwan within you, and nothing is impossible. Who did it? Hanumanji. Why do we chant the 40 verses? Chalisa. Because Hanumanji did exactly that. And he showed us what it means to be limitless. Do you know there's research that speaks of siddhis? We tend to think that there are things we cannot do. We only use 10 to 12% of our brain. Do you know that? Even the geniuses among us and in the world only use 10 to 12% of their brain. What did Hanumanji show us? Siddhi, that we are limitless. Have we explored that? It starts within the mind. If you think there are limits, there will be limits. If you think it can be done, it will never be done. So today I want to congratulate you for being here. You defied the odds of yourself waking up late this morning and saying, I don't want to go. And here you are. And I truly, truly appreciate all of you coming here to let us be in discussion on Hindu youth leadership and how we can use Hindu wisdom, cultural expressions. Why? To find solutions that exist in our country. We don't need anybody to tell us what our problems are. We know. Do you know the problems? Yes? No? First thing I want you all to do is say, Har Har. Again, Har Har. No, Lord Shiva can't hear you. Har Har. One more time. Now you sound like you're here. So, what I want to say to you, nobody needs to tell you what problems are. We know them. We have to deal with substance abuse, alcoholism, violence, suicide, peer pressure, bullying. You have about 30 things that you know. What you are here to do is to use your dharma to find the solutions. What you are here to do is to develop an exceptional action plan that will be time-lined. So it's not an abstract thing that you have 3 years to achieve. And every one of you here, when I see you, the first thing I will ask you, trust me, I will, even in the midst of your surgery, Dr. Doki, what did you do on the action plan? So this, and I know action, Vishnu likes to talk about action. Let us make sure that action happens. Action. We can't be passive onlookers. We have to be active and proactive and preemptive. That is what I believe. So today, as I declare the Hindu Youth Summit open, and we talk about things like leadership, gender equality, prioritizing Hindu activities, defining and embracing our Hindu identity and staying connected, advocacy, activism, networking, all of those things. Let us come up with something that we can say is our legacy for generations to come. We took a great step today. We took a regional step today. We took a national step today. And you and I, we took a big step today. That's what it takes. A single step to achieve many, many wonderful things. On that note, once again, welcome. May Bhagwan Shiva's blessings be with you today, every day, and definitely may Ganapati Bhagwan be in your mental acumen, so that all that you do will not only be blessed, but all that you do will be prolific, profound, intentional, and solutions-based. Thank you very much for listening to me, and have a wonderful Hindu Youth Summit 2024, brought to you by the Guyana Hindu Dharmic Sabha. Thank you so much.
Thank you for that beautiful address, Dr. Vindhya. It has truly set the tone for all that we have planned this evening. But But what stood out to me the most was when Dr. Vindhya said, "The youths are not the future, the youths are today." So give a round of applause for you, the youth. I am now pleased to introduce Suraj Singh to the stage as he will be gracing us with a bhajan. Ladies and gentlemen, Suraj Singh.
बोर की पहली किरण में आकर द्वार पे तेरे शीश नवाया, चारों तरफ आनंद है छाया। ओम नमः शिवाय, नमः शिवाय, नमः शिवाय। ओम नमः शिवाय, नमः शिवाय, नमः शिवाय। ओम नमः शिवाय, नमः शिवाय, नमः शिवाय। तन मन की सुध बिसर गई है, सम्मुख बोले नाथ करे है। तन मन की सुध बिसर गई है, सम्मुख बोले नाथ करे है। एक जग सारी देख रहे हैं, पार्वती के साथ करे है। तन मन की सुध बिसर गई है, सम्मुख बोले नाथ करे है। भोलेनाथ भोलेनाथ भोलेनाथ, भोलेनाथ भोलेनाथ भोलेनाथ। ओम नमः शिवाय, ओम नमः शिवाय। शिव मंदिर में आ पहुँचे हैं भक्त तुम्हारे भूर हुए। अद्भुत छवि निराले देखे सब आत्म विभूर हुए। छूकर इन पावन चरणों को आनंदित हम और हुए। एक जग सारी देख है सम्मुख बोले नाथ करे है भोलेनाथ 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 ओम नमः शिवाय ओम नमः शिवाय देव देवता और मुनि है कर है सब कुछ दो तेरे प्रेम की गंगा उमर परी है आए हैं जो द्वार तेरे मन में कैसी लहर उठी है लगती है सब हर्ष भरे एक जग सारी देख रहे हैं पार्वती के साथ करे है तन मन की सुध बिसर गई है सम्मुख बोले नाथ करे भोलेनाथ 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 नमः शिवाय भोलेनाथ नमः शिवाय भोलेनाथ नमः शिवाय भोलेनाथ नमः शिवाय
Wow, what a wonderful rendition, Suraj. I'm sure all of you, after listening to his captivating voice, felt some sort of divinity rise within you. And that, my folks, is the power of Hinduism and the power of our religion. As we've reached the end of our ceremony, I'd like to invite Mamta Singh and Haresh Nandalal, two members of the Dharmic Naujuan, to deliver the vote of thanks and share with you the guidelines for our plenary sessions. But before I hand the microphone over, I'd like to ask the participants, as we begin this Hindu Youth Summit, remember that in Hinduism, the journey of self-discovery and inner growth is as important as the destination. Embrace this moment to learn, connect, and cultivate wisdom that will guide you throughout your life. Thank you.
Respected dignitaries, distinguished guests, esteemed speakers, fellow moderators, and dearest participants, Namaste. Our ancient text, the Manusmriti, guides us on the ethical conduct when expressing respect and gratitude, which is the crucial aspect for maintaining our Dharma. As such, it is my great honor to express the collective gratitude in this vote of thanks on behalf of the Guyana Hindu Dharmic Sabha and the Dharmic Naujuan for the remarkable contributions and efforts from each and every one of you in making this 2024 Hindu Youth Summit possible. I begin with thanks to all members participated in this opening ceremony, and for the warmest welcome. Thank you to the President of the Guyana Hindu Dharmic Sabha, Dr. Vidya Vasini Prasad, the High Commissioner of India, Dr. Amit Tilang, my fellow members of the Central Dharmic Naujuan, Varshini Netram and Devina Hardat. Thank you to Pandit Nitin Jagbandan from Suriname and Nisha Maharaj of Trinidad and Tobago. Thank you to Pandit Kemraj Prasad. Thank you to all the talented artists on today's program. For the performances by my brother and sister of the Golden Om Dharmic Youth Organization, the West Coast Brand, and thank you to the Ramayana chanters from the East Coast Brand, and of course not forgetting Suraj Singh. As we bring the curtains down on this short but impactful opening ceremony, we are simultaneously opening the curtains for the commencement of the second half of today's program, the main event, the Hindu Youth Conference, where you will be hearing from Guyana, Suriname, and Trinidad's speakers emerging from the diverse industries and sectors who uphold their Hinduism every day with pride and everywhere they go. At this time, I would like to recognize worthy appreciation and give thanks to our sponsors. The Guyana Hindu Dharmic Sabha expresses heartfelt thanks to all the organizations, businesses, and individuals for their contribution towards the success and possibility of this summit.
Special thanks to Jagmohan International Imports and Supplies, Chaitram Prasad Ganesh Parts, Mr. Lachman Mohabir, L. Mohabir Cambio, Chris Ramlochan, Chris Auto Sales, Ramnaresh Sarwan, Gautam Tani from Mohan Tani Store, Avinash from Avinash Contracting and Scrap Metal Inc., DKV Singh, Sherry Ramdas from Sherry Lumber Yard, Camille Duki from Camille's Academy, and Anil Hardial from Regal.
Special and huge thank you and recognition are going directly to the dedicated and hardworking team of the Mahila Mandalis team. This is the team who we are thankful for the delicious meals and snacks throughout our conference. Thank you for your continuous assistance in making our event a success always. Appreciation and heartfelt thanks to all our technical team, our music team, our sound system team, and thank you to all the media team. I would like to express thank you to our esteemed panelists and moderators. The foreseeable profound insights you will each share on the various aspects of Hinduism relating to today's society on Hindu philosophies, tradition, and culture practices is greatly appreciated, just as much as the motivation alone that radiates from all of you just by having your presence here with us. It is highly respectable and admirable that you are showing the courage of inspiring today's youth to walk with Hinduism every day, with pride and confidence, of course, as you do. And for that, a special thank you for sharing your thoughts as role models and for making the 2024 Hindu Youth Summit possible, as well as setting the pace and standard for the expectation of future Hindu Youth Summits by the Guyana Hindu Dharmic Sabha. To our dear participants this weekend, it fills me and makes me proud to see you all making the effort, making a start to be here with us and to let us have this opportunity to host this summit for you, as you are the future and the key to preserving Hinduism. This alone tells you who you are and what is the main purpose of your lives. So thank you. Thank you for showing the interest and for guaranteeing the longevity of unity with Hinduism. Special thank you to my Dharmic brothers and sisters, my fellow members of the Guyana Hindu Dharmic Sabha and Dharmic Naujowan, who invested their time over the past week at the Dharmic Sanskritik Kendra, putting in the efforts night and day to plan and execute the Hindu Youth Summit. To all the teams, the registration team, logistics procurement team, prep and management team, decor team, the hospitality team, I thank you all. I commend the unity, the drive, and the willingness, and I encourage the continued support as well as assuring you that the recognition of your interest in your Dharma and role as youths to upkeep and promote Hinduism is not going unnoticed. Finally, and most importantly, to the President of the Guyana Hindu Dharmic Sabha, our role model, the Honorable Dr. Vidya Vasini Prasad. The most special thank you for the continuous dedication and hard work in building and preserving our Hindu religion is remarkable and admirable to everyone. Thank you for recognizing this need to instill awareness, encouragement, and motivation to promote Hinduism always. In closing, I once again thank you all for your participation and support. May we all continue to find inspiration and guidance in our shared journey to empower youth leadership, leveraging Hindu wisdom and cultural expression for an overall positive social change. Thank you.
Namaste again, everyone. So I'll be going through the guidelines for the conference. For the plenary session, following the immediate break of approximately 10 minutes after my presentation, the conference begins with the moderator of each session guiding the informative discussions on each topic. Each session comprises of a panel speaker speaking for 4 minutes, followed by a 10 minutes Q&A, which is question and answer. We encourage keen listening and making notes on the presentations throughout each session because at the end of the conference, we will take these pointers and suggest to implement and incorporate solutions in the Guyana Hindu Dharmic Sabha 3-year action plan. Please note each session for each topic lasts 45 minutes. And with that, we advise all speakers and moderators and participants to adhere to this timeline in order to achieve fullest and the goal from each session equally. We now dismiss you for a quick break and will resume with our first topic, Embracing Hindu Identity and Culture and Staying Connected, moderated by Avinash. Thank you.
Everyone, please note the speaker of the first topic, which will resume with first after our break, would be Dr. Amarnath Dukhi, Kripa Tani, Akshaya Prasad, Karan Singh Jagasar from Suriname. Moderator Avinash Singh.